Hey everybody, well it's Brandon here again with another animated movie review. This time we're going to be looking at one of my personal favorite cartoon characters. We have Scooby-Doo in The Legend of the Phantosaur. Now this is a movie that is one of the newer movies, kind of around the time of What's New Scooby-Doo. It opens with the gang solving a mystery in a haunted house. And Shaggy gets caught in a closet with all these monsters. And he gets really so scared that he can't stop screaming. And they had to take him off in an ambulance. And the doctor, a little later on, says that he's got some kind of, I don't know what it is. It's like a disease or something. But basically he says that he can't, solve mysteries anymore. And there's this one part, he's like, Shaggy, I forbid you from getting into the mystery machine. And everybody's like, and, but yeah, that was kind of funny, but it also was disheartening because if they ever broke up the mystery gang, that kind of would just be the biggest heartbreak in all of cartoon history. And so they're at a malt shop later on. Scooby-Doo gets a hold of coffee, starts drinking it, and he just flips out. I mean, he just goes bonkers. And I think the guy's name was Crazy Joe, and he's like, "Hey, Crazy Joe." I can't remember if that was his name or not. He's like, "What Scooby just drank?" And it's like, "Hey," someone's like, "Oh, coffee," or something like that. And I mean, he was running around the ceiling doing some weird stuff. But Daphne found a brochure for this relaxing spa treatment that they could go to help Shaggy relax. So they go to this place. I can't remember what it's called, but they go there, and they get Shaggy settled in. Everybody gets settled in, and then they find out about the Phantosaur, and a whole bunch of shenanigans and stuff ensues. We get a love interest for Velma, along with an archaeologist, and Scooby-Doo finds a gigantic bone. It's like a scientific discovery that he found, and the archaeologist lady tells Scooby to back off. But as soon as everybody leaves, Scooby picks up the bone and just digs a gigantic hole and puts it in there. And they all walk off, and they head back to town. But before they get back to town, this is when they get the first meeting of the Phantosaur. So, yeah, they do that. Scooby tries to keep Shaggy away from it so he doesn't, freak out. But it doesn't happen, and he freaks out. So, they get back to town, and I think it's the scientist that they're talking to. He's invented, this, it's some kind of hypnotic machine. So he puts Shaggy in there, and he tells Shaggy that instead of being scared and stuff all the time, he'll be brave and, wants to run into danger to save the day. So you kind of get to see Shaggy as if he was, brave and not scared, which is kind of really cool because you never get to see that in, any of the previous iterations of Scooby-Doo and the gang. But they visit a local diner, and this biker gang comes in there, and Shaggy just beats up everybody. I was like, wow. And he, I think, pisses off their leader. So the leader challenges him to a bike race. So later on, Daphne teaches him how to learn to drive a bike, but at first it doesn't go well. And Velma, while she's on her date with the archaeological friend of hers, who really looks like a male version of Velma in the movie, they pull a phone line down, and they get Shaggy and Scooby off the bike. And here comes Daphne. She rolls up. She rolls up to them and is like, "Hey guys, let's go for round two now." And everybody's looking at her like, "What?" So they get to the race. Brave Shaggy shows up, and they all go down. Some hijinks ensue. Shaggy jumps across canyons, and like, wow. I think Shaggy does end up winning the race. I'm pretty sure, or he loses, but it was close though. And the Phantosaur shows up. And then they find out that it was this mining company, and they were trying to scare everybody away so they can get all the gold for themselves and stuff. And they used two animatronic. They built dinosaurs to look like Phantosaurs. So that was pretty cool. And that they still had 30 minutes left in the film though, and I was sitting here like, if there's 30 minutes left in the film, that can't be the end of it. Well, when they get back to town, these like Phantosaurs who look more real than the animatronic ones just attack the town and like catch everything on fire, and everything just gets crazy. And they go into the hypnotic machine again, and they find that it's been stolen. So they go to the cave where the archaeologists were, and they find a projector that projects these. So it's like the Phantosaurs and the Raptors. Well, first off, the Raptors were played by the archaeologist people. The Phantosaur was like projected on a screen, so it looked real. And they used like a flame machine for the fire, and Daphne accidentally turns it on. We'll get to that in a second. That's a really important part. They chase the female lead archaeologist and Velma's love interest through the tunnels. Spoiler, if you hadn't figured it out already. They're the second set of criminals, but they didn't really mean anybody any harm. And so they chase them deeper into the tunnel, but when they get into the center of the tunnel, there's like this gigantic, frozen, perfectly preserved dinosaur. And all those two archaeologists wanted to do was find it and take it away and, claim the fame and stuff for their own purposes. They also explained that they was going to cave in the tunnel where they placed explosives all the way around the tunnel, and then we get back to that flame machine. Well, it accidentally sets off a chain reaction that pretty much blows up the tunnels anyway. So yeah, they're running for their lives now, going deeper into the tunnel and going down, and then they get to this pit where there was nothing but snakes in the pit. And Velma's like, I don't like snakes. They get across because Shaggy gets into his brave mode again. And the word they always used when he switched between brave and scared was bad. So every time somebody said bad, he would switch to brave. And then if they said it again, he would switch back to being normal Shaggy. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And they all got across. There was some tension there, but we all knew that they would end up getting across. And they get to the end where there's a river and there's like a light at the end of the tunnel. So Shaggy jumps over there and then jumps into the middle part, but I think Scooby finally figures out that the word is bad, and it says it, and Shaggy hears it, and he goes back to normal Shaggy being scared. But then here comes Fred. Fred's like, okay, Shaggy, you can do this. You don't have to be brave. You just have to be yourself. Everything you did while you were brave, you already could do that. And that gave Shaggy enough of a push. And we finally get to see Shaggy as normal Shaggy jump across there, make it over there, climb up and out of the hole. And the bikers, they came to help Shaggy because they ended up respecting him. So they pulled Shaggy out of the hole, And Shaggy's like, got any rope? So everybody else gets out. But then the whole cave under them starts coming in and everybody starts running back towards town. And then everything caved in and the sun comes up and it hits the frozen dinosaur and it like makes this beautiful rainbow like prism, but it's just different colors, all shades of colors just sparkling across this. It does look cool. The cops come, they arrest the two archaeologists, and then it's like everything's okay. They hook up the hypnotized machine again, and at the last of it, there was like, Shaggy, you will become your normal self. So Shaggy gets back to becoming normal, but everybody else was in there. So this gigantic swinging stopwatch was there, and basically he hypnotized every single gang member into being Shaggy. So they was in the mystery machine leaving the town, and they all like had the Shaggy's attire on. They all was Shaggy's hair, even Scooby. And it was like, wait, I'm the Shaggy. I'm the real Shaggy. What? Who's the real Shaggy? And then Shaggy comes up and is like, no, I'm pretty sure you're the real Shaggy. So, and they drive off, and the last thing you hear is the infamous Scooby-Doo. And then that's pretty much a little quick review of The Legend of the Phantosaur. My thoughts on it, it was better than what I would thought it would be in the Scooby-Doo movie collection. I do like the newer Scooby-Doos, not as good as the old ones, but like What's New Scooby-Doo and Mystery Incorporated. So it's kind of in that art style still, and the story really progressed very well for over like a 72-minute feature. But yeah, I would highly recommend it. If you're a Scooby-Doo fan, it's a must. Highly recommend this for any Scooby-Doo fan of any age at all, from like toddlers all the way to grown-ups, adults. It's not up there with the Reluctant Werewolf or the Ghoul School or the Boo Brothers. I definitely put it high up on the list. Like, definitely in the top 15 of Scooby-Doo movies. People that wouldn't enjoy this would probably be like the people that don't want to watch cartoons, or they like Scooby-Doo, but they only like the old iteration of Scooby-Doo. They don't like the new iteration of Scooby-Doo. They like the, just being mysteries, being a guy in a suit. If that's the only Scooby-Doo you ever like, and you don't like Scooby-Doo like going out of the haunted house setting, you're not gonna like this. But I mean, it's got the Scooby-Doo formula there, and it's just great. Definitely give it a shot. I think a lot of people will like it. And introducing them to kids may love it. I really didn't. Or there may have been some subtle adult jokes in there, but nothing that I could tell a kid would not get it at all, and it's nothing bad. So, I mean, this movie is definitely kid friendly. That is Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Phantosaur, and my personal opinion on it, and who may dislike and like this. So, next week, I'll try to get them up every Monday or Tuesday. But next week, it's about the Space Age family of Hanna-Barbera, and one of the big three of Hanna-Barbera. We have the Flintstones, Scooby-Doo, and the Jetsons. So next up, we have the Jetsons, the movie. So, till next time, guys. Bye.